Come on in, everybody. Hello, hello. What's up, y'all? So I don't know why that is sticking together like that. Welcome, everybody. Hey. Welcome. Come on in to all of our KCCR Radio, the Brownstone Center listeners. It's your girl Paulette, and I'm going to be spending some time with you this evening. But I want to make sure that you guys are given a few minutes to come in because I did kind of log in a little early because it's just now 8:30 where I am. And let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to turn on comments. Let's see. And we're going to be sharing a lot of stuff tonight that I think is fair and right and free. How about that? So this lighting really sucks. I just want y'all to know. But I guess it's as good as it's gonna get. Maybe. We'll look into it. But in the meantime, come on in. Welcome. Everybody come on in the room. And let's have a gathering of the minds tonight. Welcome to Quickie in the Kitchen, our Tuesday edition. You guys, you all normally know that I do Quickie in the Kitchen on Wednesdays, but I had a request for some information, and I thought, why not just go ahead and just share that with everybody, right? That would be the best thing to do. And besides, it's a wealth of knowledge that I've kind of gained over the years. But again, go ahead and share this with as many people as you possibly can, especially people that you know are looking to, let me see if I can. Okay, that's a little bit better. Especially for people that you know that are looking to start working from home or are looking to, oh, y'all, excuse me. That's a whole lot better. Praise the Lord. So are looking to do something from the house. Okay, it could be something full-time, it could be part-time or whatever. And I want to share the information that I have with as many people as I possibly can. So I thought, why not come on? Why not talk about it? You can take the information for what it is or not. It is completely your choice. It really is. And we're going to talk about some stuff that is in reference to that. And feel free to share as much information as you possibly can too. Now, continue to share this if you want. Completely your choice, you know. But I would like to share this with as many people as I possibly can, because I think it's important, especially now with everything that's going on in the world, that we share this information as much as possible. Because why not? Okay, it ain't hurting nobody to hit share and share this information with other people. It's important, I think. So I'm just going to tell you, I wanted to go live tonight because I was actually responding to some communication on a family member's page who was looking for some opportunities while they were in school. However, in specific areas of the country, it can be kind of hard to find work. And if you do find work, it's going to pay you pennies, right? And it costs more than pennies to survive. So you got to get really creative in what you do to make your coins, right? So I wanted to come on here tonight and share with you guys information that I know. But first and foremost, let me just let you know, if you don't know who I am, I always like to start with this. It's your girl Paulette from KCCR Radio, the Brownstone Center. I am the host of the Sunday Brunch, What's for Brunch, and also the Day Shift on KCCR Radio. I'm also one of the co-hosts of Cullen's Corner that can also be found here on this page, wherever you are. And our mantra, of course, is no matter where you go, there we are. But tonight, we're going to be sharing some information with you guys. And again, you can go ahead and like, comment, you can share. We can share thoughts, ideas. I can even bring you onto the screen if you have anything that you want to definitely share. Hi there. Hi to the bee. How you doing, girl? How you? Hello. So I wanted to come on and share this information with you guys. And let me give you a little bit of a backstory as to why this is important. One, life has been pretty busy for me. Graduate school again. Then I decided to go again. And then I decided maybe I need to stop. But in between that time, I had to find the space to take care of the kids. I had to find the time to run my business when I wasn't really ill, for people that knew me. But then there were also times that I needed to take care of my little people. And so my two youngest, KJ and Lily, anybody that knows me knows that that's their name. So at the time, KJ wasn't even thought of at the time. So I'm just giving you a little backstory. So Lily had recently been diagnosed with autism, and she was high on the spectrum. That's what they said. So I was instructed to put her in therapy and to get her as much help as I possibly could. And that meant that my opportunity to work was going to be limited because I needed to be available to pick her up and drop her off and spend time with the therapist in between. So she was in like 3 or 4 different therapy sessions every day, from speech therapy, occupational physical therapy, all of that in between. And so one of the things that I needed to do was to find something that was going to allow me an opportunity to be free for her, but also still pay the bills, because I was a single mom. Okay. She had 2 older sisters, both of them. One was in junior high, the other one was in high school at the time. And I was not getting ready to have anybody else take care of her. So I had to get really creative. So I was like, I already know how to braid hair, but that's not making much money, because Pookie and them down the street up the corner around in front of the kitchen stove, they braiding hair and got folks hair falling out. And they okay with that as long as they're paying $25. They don't want to pay anybody that's been doing it for close to 30 years. They don't want to do that. That's a whole different conversation for another day, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. You'd rather pay somebody else to do a knockoff job than to do the real bang up job. But that was another situation. So I knew I wasn't going to go back and start doing hair. That was not an option. And so I started researching online. And this was when people were really starting to understand the power of what it could do, because we had the internet bust, right? Remember that was in like the early 2000s, like 2001 to 2002, everybody was in it. And then kaboom, it was like, well, how do we make this work? What happens? And so a lot of people, including myself, we lost job opportunities because of that, because people hadn't really figured it out yet. So at that time, high-speed internet was a thing. AOL was still a thing. Y'all remember AOL? Y'all remember that? So anyway, I started looking online for work-at-home opportunities. And I was determined I was going to find something that was going to work with her schedule, that was legitimate, that was going to pay me something that was worth me doing it, and allow me the flexibility that I needed in order to be available for her. One, for meetings with her therapist, because I was meeting with her therapist like 3 times a week, right? And then on top of that, I had to be available again to get her off the bus. If I was working up the street in Camden, Arkansas at like a Walmart or something like that, I wouldn't have had that opportunity. Not at all. Not at all. And they were not willing to work with me because I had actually tried. I had asked them, would they be willing to work with me? They were like, nope. You need to figure that out. How can I figure out? I didn't have any help. So I had to do the next best thing. So I started looking for jobs. So let's talk about the ones that I found first. So the first ones, you always hear about surveys. So if I were you at this point, I would start taking notes, because I'm going to be sharing some stuff with you that I learned. And guys, I'm not asking you for your email address tonight. I'm not asking you for I'm not asking you for information. I'm not asking you to go and click on this so that you can get additional information. I'm giving you all, hey Esther, hey girl, how you doing? Hey rich friend. I am providing this information to you absolutely free, because why not? Right? This is a time for people to be sharing information that you absolutely need, especially in times like this. Okay, so my situation, once again, it came down to somebody had to take care of my baby girl while the other 2 were in junior high and high school. I needed to have the flexibility that I needed, and I needed to be able to make legitimate money. So write this down, surveys. So the first one that I found were surveys, and y'all know the ones I'm talking about, right? It's the ones where you do a bunch of surveys. And if you are familiar with these, go ahead and either click like, love, or share them, because some of you all who are watching this or who will watch the replay have actually been not so much a victim of this, but you've seen them, right? And it'll say surveys, take surveys, get paid to do surveys, da da da, and they're all online. And then once you get in there, you find out that in order for you to get paid to do the surveys, you have to enter in your credit card or your debit card information and pay for the shipping, blah blah blah. Thank you so much, Esther. Esther's my rich friend, y'all. That's my homegirl. Yes, go ahead, Marilyn in the house. So one of the things that I thought was strange about that was, number one, I shouldn't have to put my credit card information anywhere. I shouldn't have to pay a dollar for shipping. I shouldn't have to do any of that because I need the money to come into my household. My rent was due, tuition was due, student loans hadn't come in yet. I had to do something in between, or else I was going to get put out of school. And then on top of that, I was responsible for the copay for Aaliyah being in this program for children who were autistic. So that was put in big old letters, survey. And some people are going to say, oh, well, surveys. I don't even know if y'all can see that because this is like an orange pen. You see that? It says survey. I'm going to put an X through that because it wasn't worth my time. It wasn't worth it at all. So I know, and I really did the serious research, y'all. Like, I'm not telling you all anything that I didn't do. So what I'm sharing with you is legitimate stuff. Okay. And what I'm trying to do is to help you not go through the fluff and the stuff and the marshmallows and the muck and the mire and the mud, trying to get to what you need. And that's the gold. Okay. You want to get right to the point, because why else would you be listening to the sound of my voice right now? It ain't because you just like to see me flip my daggone hair or look at me wear my glasses until it's time for me to pass out in the middle of the night. That's not why you're here. You want valid information about how you can work from home, how you can make that work for you. So go ahead. Once again, welcome to everybody who is listening to the sound of my voice. Yes, we are broadcasting in multiple platforms right now. So thank goodness for that, so that I can reach as many people as possible. I think it's important for us to share as much information as you can. And y'all, like I said before, I don't want nothing from you. I want your money. I want your coins. I want your purse. I want none of that. I don't want any of your cash. I don't want you to give me your email address. I want you to take this information. I want you to share it with other people. And I want you to take and do something with the information that I am providing. Period. With a T at the end, a DT. Okay. Now, so surveys. Okay. I can only speak from my own personal experience, but surveys was not going to pay my rent, was not going to pay my light bill. Surveys would probably give me points that I could use towards something else. And I didn't have time to play with that because I needed to make sure that my children and I remained where we were. Okay. And so I had to do whatever I had to do to make sure that that happened. So X out surveys. It was a no. It was a no. So that was not happening. Okay. So then I got to thinking, let me do a couple of searches. And y'all, back then I was a big Yahoo fan. Okay. Period. Okay. Period. Yes, go ahead, y'all, share this, because this is some serious information that I'm putting down, and it's absolutely free, like I said. All right, so the next thing that I did was I thought, okay, I got to find something else to do. So let me go to Yahoo. I was a big Yahoo fan. This was before Google. Google was already doing this thing, but I was using Yahoo, and I would search work from home, and everything would always come back to these crazy sites that would tell you to, and remember this, y'all. Remember when people were still kind of doing like the whole mail each other a letter, and you would make $100 in a week. I still needed more money than that, and that, of course, too, was a scam. Now, I seriously considered going back into selling Mary Kay. Period. Right, Shaniqua's period. So thanks so much for joining, you guys, and make sure that you're sharing this, liking this. And if you can relate to any of this, go ahead and love the page, give me a smiley face, whatever. And some of you guys that are on here, you know me personally, so you know you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? And y'all know that I actually did work from home. And if you did, go ahead and give me a like, give me a thumbs up, and let people know she's telling the truth. I was able to stay home with my babies and also do other things in the community. So surveys, epic fail. Put that on your list, thumbs down. Now, some people say, oh, that's not true. You can do, I know of someone that is actually doing really well with it, but they're not doing surveys. Okay. And we're going to talk about that, right? I was a hustler. I'm a hustler, baby. I just want you to know. Yes. Hey. Okay. So, next on the list, I started doing more research and I started to find out that there were chat rooms back then that were available. They're no longer around, but there were chat rooms available, and I started joining all of them, honey, because I needed to find out what was going on in the middle of everything that was happening, and Aaliyah being in therapy, and then I had the teenager, and then I had the preteen. I was like, I gotta find something so I could stay home, and I was working at Walmart at the time while I was in graduate school, so that was a pain in the tail. So then I decided, let me hit up this one site, which is no longer available. And I discovered, y'all ready? Write this down because it is legitimate. But I said I was going to share. I was introduced to psychic work first. Yeah. So, anyone that knows me knows that I believe in metaphysics. I understand that there is energy out there, all of that. And yes, I have practiced tarot runes for several years. I'm not new to it. I have decided to put it aside. So I actually read for a while. I did. I started out reading. However, you had to have this entire elaborate setup that they would send you. And I would read. I would literally take out my tarot and I would read. And so it wasn't paying enough. I think it was paying like $7 and some change per call. So it was like the California Psychics thing. That's legit, like for real. So I did that for about, I don't know, 3 weeks, but it was enough to get a check. I was just, because in between, listen, I was still searching. I was like, I'm still gonna find someone fast. All right. So then the next one, and y'all, these are all true stories. This really happened. So after I did the psychic bits for a little while, then I put up my tarot, I put up my runes, I put up all of the energy, the vibes, all that happy stuff, put all of that away, and I decided that I was going to try another, and it was a chat room. But the chat room was literally because Aaliyah would be home and she hadn't learned how to talk yet, right? She was still in speech therapy. So I would be able to let her talk and I would still be able to chat. So the chat was with folks in the UK. So I was given an avatar and my name was like Yvonne or some crazy name. I was a blonde, busty blonde. Well, not, that's true to form right there, but I'm not blonde. So I did that. I honestly did that and I made some cash, Jack. Let me tell you. So they would send you pictures. They would tell you where you lived. I lived in Bristol and I had clients, and I can't give you the name of the company because they're still around, but you became someone's girlfriend, their virtual girlfriend. And I was able to actually communicate with them via my computer to their cell phone at the time. And I was paid once a week. It was direct deposit. And then I did another one at the same time when I wasn't working that one. I worked another project where I was sent a check just to text, right? Text. And that lasted until right before I discovered Working Solutions. So Working Solutions, I'm going to go ahead and put this at the bottom of the screen because I want to make sure that you all are aware that these are legitimate. These are actually legitimate businesses. And you've probably heard of them because you've done the research and you want to know, are they legit? Well, they are, because I've probably done it. Okay, because I was serious about mine. I was trying to find out like what exactly. So this one is called Working Solutions. I'm going to let that scroll across. And the website is workingsoul.com. Go ahead and write that down if you can. Okay. Or if you want to Let me go ahead and hit that. Okay, workingsoul.com. That's the first one, right? I want to make sure that you all get that one, because here's what I can tell you about Working Soul. Working Soul, and I'm going to be honest, I'm still loyal to those companies, because y'all, I might have to go bad. You don't never know, baby. You hear me? So I'm not going to tell you, but I will tell you some of the industries that I started with. One was an office supply company. That was the very first one that I started with. And I've met and remained friends with some great people. We're still friends to this day. 18 years later. That's how long I've been doing this, like the work from home thing, right? And Working Soul was by far the best. Let me say it again. Working Solutions was by far the best. You hear me? I'm not telling you nothing I heard. I'm telling you what I know, because I stayed with them for years. Even though, and I'm going to give you all some tips that I need you all to be very clear on, even though I always made sure that I was doing other stuff besides. So I always made sure I had multiple streams of income going on. But Working Solutions, when Lily first started her therapy session, was I know, okay, somebody is in my kitchen and they doing the ice thing, and I want to know which one of my kids it is just now. So I'm going to say it again. Y'all see that scrolling across your screen? That's legit. Legit. So I started with an office supply company. You can kind of guess of who it probably was, but I'm not going to say their name. Okay. That's an inside thing as an agent that you don't do. So that was the first one. Then let's see. I did another one. I'm just going to add to it. So then there was another one. It was called Pyramids. This was my extra job, pyramids.com. Okay. So Pyramids, I'm going to add that as a banner. So, and I'm going to show that one. So that's Pyramids. Pyramids.com was another one. Why am I sharing this with y'all? Listen, y'all do realize we in the recession, right? And I don't care if you are working, you still need to have additional streams of income. Once again, let me say this, period. Hello. At the end of the day, you have to make sure that you're taking care of your personal self, your household, your family, whatever you got to do. So let me explain what Pyramids is. Pyramids is a great company. I stand by them as well. What your entire job is to call to make sure that medical records get delivered to the right facility. Okay. And so you play the middle person. You're the person that picks up the phone, makes those calls, and as many that you can get through. Because sometimes these doctors' offices are so crazy busy, they don't have time to get them. So you got to stay on them. So if there's an order for you to have a patient's records to be sent to, say, for instance, radiology or whatever, and you're that middle person, you don't get paid until that record hits that doctor's office, right? And it's real easy to do. You just pick up the phone. Hey, I'm just checking to see, did you get that in? Da, 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 da. Honey, my job was, for me personally, I needed to do at least 20 to 25 a day. So Pyramids and pyramids.com. So these are the first two that I knew for sure worked for me. They generated legitimate income. And I'm going to tell you how I made that work for me. Okay. It's super important that you understand that you just don't log in and you don't treat this like any just old regular run of the mill job. This is the legitimate deal. So then after Pyramids and Working Soul, so let me tell you, Working Solutions was one of those companies and is one of those companies, reputable, been around. They're one of the oldest ones I know. And we'll also talk about Arise as well. But one of the ones that I know for sure where your training is paid. Most companies nowadays don't pay you during training, but I got paid during my training, honey. And back then, this was in like, I don't know, Lily is 17. So this was 2005, 6 maybe. So by that time, they were paying $14, $15 an hour to sit at home. And you weren't just sitting, you were literally taking calls. So don't get it twisted. You were actually on the phone. We're gonna talk about equipment, we're gonna talk about all that. So don't just let me get through this part because I want you to know as many as I have had success with, okay, and how I made my money work for me. That's gonna be another thing that you need to keep on your agenda, in your thought process. Y'all, I'm so thirsty. Listen. So anybody else know me knows I just hired a personal trainer. Cheers. Okay. Mm. So to that, I worked the Working Solutions Project in Paramedics until KJ was born. So by the time KJ was born, I was a supervisor at one of the projects, a travel project at Working Solutions. And I was making about 17, 18, sitting at the house. And I remember I came home from the hospital with him, and KJ's 13 now. I came home from the hospital with him. I was nursing him and I was taking calls, right? So you still have to have a quiet environment. You still have to make sure that you remain professional. But here's the most important thing. I was still making money and I could still be at home. That was important. And I had the flexibility because, like I said, I went back to work with KJ 5 days after he was born. But all I did was I had my computer set up right next to the bed that we were laying in, and he would lay right here, and I would ease over, because I was still sore, and I would take calls right where I was, right where I was. Nothing changed. It was like boom, boom, boom. I took time off and went right back to it. So then, I decided I was going to go find a job. So I started working at a local radio station. But what I never stopped doing was I did not stop working from home. I took a hiatus, which I think was a mistake on my part because I think I was, finishing up school at the time and I was ready to go back into the regular workforce. But living in a small town like I was, there weren't many jobs out there for people who had the kind of degree that I have. And so I thought this might not work for me long term. And I thought maybe I need to go somewhere else. So one of my degrees is in information technology. And so I was doing really well when I was in Atlanta, but I was in a small town at this time and it just wasn't working out. And so I tried all of the small companies out in the quote unquote area in East Camden, Arkansas. Couldn't get a response. And so I did what I knew to do. I decided that I was going to go right back into working from home. By that time, I had a small consignment store, but I had internet access there. And whenever I had some downtime or I knew what the influx of the customer base was going to be, oh, honey, I would go ahead and take some calls from right where I was. And so one of the other companies that I've worked for in the past, let me share this with you as well. I hope you guys got that information. I'm going to hide that now. Is I also worked for a company called, what was the name of it? It was called Lionbridge. Let me explain Lionbridge. Lionbridge is a contracting agency that actually does ad reviews. I'm going to put this up here, ad reviews for Google. It's a legitimate thing. If you've ever seen ads for these, then it is legitimate. It is legit, for real. Ad reviews. Okay, it's not letting me. Come on. There we go. All right, so we're going to add that, and then I'm going to show it so you guys know. It's called Lionbridge. Okay, go ahead and write that down. And hopefully you are. Hopefully you are. This particular company paid handsomely. It was paying $13.50 an hour at the time. Okay, so that was handsomely, especially if you only pop in. You don't even have to get on the phone. You're reviewing ads, but you got to be good. You got to be good. And you got to be able to identify exactly what it is that they're looking for. The biggest problem that I had with Lionbridge was you never knew when your contract was going to be up. Okay, so again, when you're doing the work from home thing, you always want to make sure that you have more than one source of work at all times. And you have to have a monthly goal. We're going to talk about that here in just a second. Okay, so again, Working Solutions or WorkingSoul.com, Pyramids.com. I swear by those two. They paid me regularly. I never had an issue. Listen, y'all, I would make so much coins as working for Working Solution in Pyramids, and I was still able to have the flexibility that I needed. I was an independent contractor. I was a 1099. I was literally able to go and register for National Association of the Self-Employed's health benefits on a regular basis because I was making too much money to be on Medicaid. This is the true story. This really happened. So I'll tell you what my monthly goals were, my weekly goals were per day at least. I'll share with you what that. In order for you to reach your goals, you have to have a daily or monthly goal, and I'll tell you what that is. All right. So once again, let me show you these. I'm going to hide this one, and we're going to go back to the first one if you missed it. Workingsoul.com is the very first one. Now, am I being paid for any of this information? No. These companies don't even know I'm doing this right now, but I'm telling you that they are always looking for quality people. Okay. Always looking. Do they do background checks? Absolutely. Do you have to have your own equipment? Yep, you do. You do. Okay. So there's a lot of different companies that are currently out there that are always looking. And I'm only going to give you the ones that I know work. So yeah, I've done psychic work. I've done phone chat. Y'all know what I mean. Hello. And it paid me well. But once you start to get to the point where you have kids and they can hear and understand, you might want to put that down. Might want to put that down. Okay. And then, hi, Candace. Welcome aboard. So happy that you guys could join me. If you don't know what my name is, go ahead and share this. First of all, I would encourage you all to do that. And also, I'm Paulette. It's your girl Paulette from KCCR Radio, the Brownstone Center. And I am doing a special tonight called Quickie in the Kitchen. If y'all missed tonight's recipe, honey, it is on the Sunday brunch page. How about that? On Facebook, if you missed it. But this one is a good one, because I wanted to make sure that I was sharing some valuable information with you for free. Okay. Because anybody else that is giving you see this, somebody charging y'all $10 to $15 for this information. No cap, as my son would say. And why? Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and give it to you because why not? The next one that I'm going to show you is called Pyramids, pyramids.com. It's calling to retrieve medical records and have them sent over to another medical facility on behalf of another doctor's office. So they're hiring you to do that. And this is a portal that's used. You get an opportunity to get the doctor's office information, call somebody, and encourage them to send it over. So it might take a while, and you have to set goals, but they never missed a payment. I never missed a direct deposit with these two companies right here. Lastly, the other one that I was telling you guys about was Lionbridge. Lionbridge was another really good one, and I did ad reviews for them, and it paid handsomely. And guys, you only have to do a minimum in most of these companies that I just told you about, a minimum of 15 to 20 hours a week. Y'all can pop that, especially if you already got a 40-hour, you working 40 hours a week somewhere else and you're not getting the OT that you want, or you just salary and you know every week what your check is going to be, but you got some other stuff that's coming up, like maybe Christmas or whatever, or you've been furloughed and they've cut your hours now that you've returned and you have to get some kind of extra income coming in. Y'all, this is the perfect thing to do. This is the perfect thing to do. Because listen, let me tell y'all something. I guarantee you that we have pretty much gone away from a lot of brick and mortar call centers. Trust. You hear me? And so I would get in while I could fit in if this is something that you currently understand. And see, I'm not making this up. Candace just said you used to work with Lionbridge too. And again, the only thing that I have against Lionbridge was I was doing the thing. I was coming to work, logging in, 4 or 5 hours at a time, doing Lionbridge, doing the ad reviews. And 6 months into the project, I got an alert that my project was over. So I reapplied. So you have to wait 6 months, you can reapply. And the next time I did it for like 15 months, right? So it still worked out. You could work as many hours as you want. At the time, I don't know if they put a cap on that or not, but please write these down. We are not making this up. And again, for people that know me personally, I'm not making this up. This is how I made my living while Lily was in therapy, for real. This is really what I did. Now, another work from home job that I did that paid, then we're going to talk about some that you don't have to. I'm going to go ahead and hide these once again. Okay, there is a company, and I know some of you all have seen their ads, is NextRep. NextRep.com. I know y'all seen it. I know you've seen it. I know you've seen it. You've seen it. You've seen it. Okay, NextRep. NextRep.com. So I swear by them too. Nextrep.com is the business. It is legitimate as well. I have worked Nextrep on several different projects. I will be perfectly honest with you, though. Nextrep seems to be pretty new, maybe a couple years old or whatever. But what I will tell you about Nextrep is that if you enter your time, you do the work, you will get paid. And that's all that you should really be concerned with, unless, of course, their leadership is crappy. And of course, if that's the case, you are a 1099, you're working as an independent contractor, you can come and go as you please. It's completely your business. Hello? So you don't have to stay. You can, again, like I always say, oh, Sheila, no, that just came in my head. I'm sorry. But like I always say, you must always have multiple streams of income. You can't just like sit down and say, oh, this is the only, ooh, girl, I got a good job. You must understand that you don't really have that going on. You got to constantly be looking for additional streams, and you are in control of that. And that was why, and is why, one of the reasons why I am constantly on the lookout for other opportunities to add to, the sources that I currently have, and understanding that there is only one source, but that source can source itself out. You feel me? Y'all take that any way you want. All right, now, Lionbridge, we talked about Nextrep. Nextrep, again, is a call center kind of deal. You can certainly look into that if you are interested. Let me see. Yeah. Text messages from work. So yeah, that's another thing. So work never stops me from here, but I still wanted to come on. Now, Nextrep is a call center job. Okay. So sometimes they have chat opportunities. So if you have kids, if you're concerned about the background noise, you can always look to see if there are chat opportunities available for you. Those are really, really good ones if you can catch them. And I caught one, baby. You hear me? And you can actually, here's something else you need to know about Nextrep, which I thought was really cool. So when I signed the contract with Nextrep, I could hire people to work under me. So I could pay them, whatever, and then I could. So it was almost like being the middle guy, but I would have to be responsible for making sure that they followed and adhered to anything that Nextrep offered in terms of training, making sure that they got everything that they needed, and that became a little bit tedious because I actually did do that for a minute. So I was getting a cut of that, and I had some people that were working under me, so that kind of worked out as well. So here is another company. Once again, if you feel so inclined, go ahead and share this with somebody else. It's really, really not about anything else, but I want to share some information with you all because, guys, it's hard out here for a pimp. Hello, real talk. And if y'all want some of this information, it's free. You might as well just come on up in here and get it. I'm telling you. So that was one that I really, really liked. So we have, once again, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna show y'all Working Soul. Yep, I'm doing that. Then we got Pyramids, Lionbridge, ad reviews for Google. Okay. And then also there was Nextrep. Okay. So Nextrep is also a really good one. What I want you to be aware of with Nextrep is Nextrep had an issue that I didn't too much care for, and that was they were constantly ending a contract, and then you'd be like, well, wait a minute, my light bill due. So just remember that. Again, always making sure that you had those multiple streams of income available to you. So if something like that were to occur, you didn't flip out. You was like, oh, okay, well, let me go ahead and turn this back on and go back go right back to work, doing another project or whatever. So never give yourself the opportunity to just not have anything. Okay. And that just, I think, comes from personal experience and some of the things that I've dealt with personally. And it's like, no, we're not going to do that no more. I'm a little too old. I'm too old to be out here like, so if something were to go wrong right now today, what would I do? No, we're not doing that. No, not in 2020. There's too much going on, and you already know it is. And like I said before, folks, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We're in the middle of people being furloughed. We're in the middle of people who have been without work since this started. If I'm giving you free game, y'all better come up in here and get it. And it might not be what you want to hear, because I'm going to tell you something. Okay, so now I'm about to get real. Okay, because now, all right, so I'm at home and I'm chilling, and I'm going to just keep it real with you. Y'all want me to come in here, some of you guys, and you want me to give you a boatload of information that you might get from somebody who is like a Nico Cherie or a Nicole Walters or somebody like that. Well, first of all, I'm not. It's your girl Paulette. Let's keep it clear. And I also know that some of y'all not ready to be on that level. Let's just keep it real. Okay. And so me knowing that is because I've been where you're at. Okay. You got to start somewhere. This is a perfect way to start. I always tell people get in where you fit in and handle your business right where you are first. Because you cannot, listen closely, you cannot expect to get to the level where some of these folks that are making buku dollars that I know personally, I know these people personally. So it's not like it's game. Like they really doing their thing. And you're gonna see in a few months what I'm talking about. But what I'm saying to you right now is get this money where you at right now. And I'm giving you free game. Again, be about two things, your peace, baby, and your purse. Hello. And while we in here, let's get it. Let's get it. So nextrep.com was another one. Be careful of that one. It is legitimate though. I've done the projects. All right. Now, another one I want to tell you about is Arise. Okay. And you can actually, matter of fact, let me go ahead and pull them up. Let me see if I can pull them up. I am still an agent with Arise, y'all. I really am. I'm still an agent with them. But I want to explain to you the way that this works and how you want to make sure that you keep yourself from getting played by Arise. Okay? Because it can happen if you are not careful. Okay? Let's see. Work from home. Here we go. So it is Arise. So it's Arise workfromhome.com. All right, so that's where you want to go. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and share that. AriseWorkFromHome.com. All right. Now, Arise. The other outside of working solutions, this was the baddest gig I had working from the house. It was off the chain. Okay. And the reason why was because there were multiple clients, from travel clients to phone clients. And when I say clients, I mean like call center opportunities. So you had cell phone opportunities to take calls for people, travel opportunities to take calls for people. There were some chat opportunities. There was IT support. Baby, when tax season rolled around, if you wanted some quick easy money, and if you understood how to work through a knowledge base or what they call the KB for tax season, oh Lord have mercy, honey. Listen, they already starting to send me emails about that. And Lord, if I needed the opportunity, do you hear me? I would be all over that because they're going to start probably training people for that. So here's a couple things that you need to know about Arise. Arise will you'll have to pay for your certification, okay? And it's not a lot of money, okay? It's usually, sometimes you can catch like a really good deal on Arise, like one of their big ones, which I absolutely loved because I love travel and all of that, was I call it the Sail Away project, and they had several. Okay, so it wasn't just one; it was several different Sail Away projects. One of the things that I liked about that was that I was making an hourly wage, and I was also getting a commission for each sale that I was able to do. And especially if they ended up, staying on a, really nice floor, or they ended up with a balcony or so forth, so on. And if they added the additional packaging and everything, then of course you would make an additional amount of money for that. So Arise is a really, really good one. So let me explain Arise. Arise provides you access to work from home companies that are looking for people who want to own a small call center. That's what you need to know. Let me explain further. Now, Arise, when I first started, you have to find an LLC to work under. So you can't just go in and start working or applying for opportunities. Once you have been accepted into a rise by doing your background check, taking the drug test, all that other stuff, they're even going to have you do a voice test, right? To see how you sound on the phone and if you articulate, blah, blah, blah. Most of us, everybody in here that I know is listen to the sound of my voice, you know how to do that. So once you do that, they're going to give you a list of independent companies that work through Arise where you can select the company you want to work through. That's why I said I still work for Arise, not as an independent contractor taking calls, but as an LLC. Okay? Now, I would encourage you not to work for someone or under someone for long. Get your own tax ID and your own LLC as soon as you can so that you can have people work with you as well or for you. Okay? So let me explain Arise. You will pay for your certification. Your training or certification is unpaid, which is why you should not let go of anything else you got going on. If you are working somewhere else, make sure that you are getting some source of income somewhere, because sometimes the training is so intense that you will end up working or doing the training for like 3-4 weeks. Now they have something called like you could do the rapid training or whatever, and you can be working in a week or 2 weeks or whatever. But remember, it's all unpaid. And sometimes, honey, I remember one group I did, the training was like 8 hours a day for like 2 weeks. And so I had to make sure that I had other streams of income coming in at the time. But it was worth it because Arise pays really, really well. It pays really well depending on the project that you have. So make sure that you kind of keep that in mind. All right. Now, another thing about Arise that you need to know is that you can work as many projects as you want. So if, say, for instance, you want to do the travel project, you can also do the mouse ears project or the cell phone project, right? But you have to maintain the same level of quality that you give one project. You got to do them all. So of course, there's going to be those quality checks, those calls to check and see how you're doing. I know that they even have an internet company. I'm not going to say any names, once again, because I want to protect the anonymity of those companies that are using work from home services. Some insurance companies are doing it, but I'm going to leave you all with a valuable one at the end of this particular talk. Okay. And it's where you can get tons of information about all kinds of companies that are working. Because, honey, I gave it to Lily, who is now officially 17 years old, and Miss Senior in high school. Hey, cuz, what's going on? Miss Senior in high school is officially working from home. And let me just say this: she had an interview with what's the name of this company? She wanted to go and work, regular job out here during the pandemic. I don't know how I felt about that, but she had been applying to several companies during the time online. I said, you're going to be better off finding you something that will allow you to work from home because you'll make more money. Well, it was Subway was what it was, because it's right around the corner from the house. So Subway was hiring, and that didn't go well. First of all, you wasn't even going to make $9. Okay. At least now you're making, you're in the double digits at least. And that's as a high school senior, and you're sitting at home, and she's at work right now upstairs in her room. So I thought, okay, cool. This is a good time for me to share this with college students, with work at home moms who want to add something else to what they're doing. For anybody, even dads or people that want something else where they can get somewhere and be available for the kids. And here's something else, especially now with furloughs and other things like that. And then y'all, some of y'all got kids that really need extra supervision with this virtual learning thing. You might want to really consider being a work from home parent at this point. And y'all, if you do it right. So on average, okay, my first year really doing this with Work and Soul, I made, and I was a part-time college student, finishing up my last year of my MBA. I made, I know, $47,000. To some people, that's not a lot of money. But when you're sitting at the house and you don't have no gas that you have to use, your car note paid off, Your insurance ain't none. Yeah, I say insurance. Okay. So your insurance is nothing. Your rent, I think my rent at the time was like 460 or some crazy number, right? So it was a small little townhouse. Um, let me see, what else was it I was doing? All your stuff is paid, right? What I was making, I was bringing home, and I'll explain to you my goal, what my goal was every day. So I would work. Pause. I'm not gonna tell y'all that yet because I want you all to understand that this is legit. These are legit work from home opportunities. I'm not telling you nothing I have not worked on. And I could go on and on and on. But what I want to do is provide you with some information that you can take away today and start applying for free. Okay? I ain't trying to get your email address like I said earlier. I'm not trying to get you to buy anything from me. Nope, not trying to do it. All I want to do is share some valuable information with you because, y'all, I don't think we've seen the end of the beginning of this recession, which actually started at the end of February. So if y'all paying attention to the news, you're not blind. Some of y'all furloughed right now trying to find out what you're going to do. Okay? So what I want you to do is to take this information and either share this link so somebody else can get it, or share the information with other people that I am sharing. So, recap. Yep, I'm going to do it again for those of you all who are just now joining us. Welcome, welcome. The first work from home job that was worth me sticking around for was workingsoul.com, Working Solutions. Now, they're based out of Texas, amazing company. They're top of the line and they have amazing clients. Are you a 1099? Absolutely. You are not a 1040. So you will be responsible for your own taxes. What did I do at the time? Y'all don't have to follow what I do because I don't know what your accountant tells you. But every pay period, I would take 20% of my check and I would put it in a savings account. So when it was time for me to pay taxes, I had the money. How about that? That was one. Here was another one that was really good for me was parameds, parameds.com. That's basically calling doctors' offices and providing them with a request for patient records to be sent to another medical facility. The other one was ad reviews, and that was done by Lionbridge. Okay, you'll see that at the bottom of my screen. Let me hide parameds. The next one is NextRep. Now, NextRep is absolutely legitimate as well. However, since they're still kind of new, maybe 3 or 4 years old or whatever, please be leery of just having that one particular gig as your only gig. Okay. And that pretty much would go for all of them. And then lastly, this is one of out of the two, I would say Arise Work from Home and Working Soul are the big kahunas. They're the real deal. And that's who you want to make sure that you look at first. Okay. Those two right there will provide you, and I'm telling you from personal experience, the money that you need right now to add to what you're currently making on another gig. You can add to what you're doing, or you can work it where it is your full-time opportunity. Okay. Again, I was doing okay sitting at home taking care of my children. Okay. And that was important to me. I was able to be at events. I was able to do what I needed to do. And that was also to finish school and then prepare for my doctoral program. So that was important to me. All right. So the next thing on the list is, let's finish up Arise real quick. So Arise, what I want you to know is, and this goes for all of them. Let me also do this. So real quick with Arise. Arise is by far, Working Soul and Arise Work from Home are by far right now the best. And I'm going to tell y'all something. They got a ton of opportunities right now. Remember, we were just talking about how right now companies are looking for people to work from home. We're in the middle of a pandemic. So guess what's happening to a lot of the real estate where these call centers are? They're sending people home. Because the technology is such that why would you need to be in somebody's call center? They can monitor what you do. And some companies actually have you log into Zoom. Listen, there are times where I'm sitting here at the house, if I know I have a couple of meetings and I really just can't get there right away, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to log into my virtual office. And I can sit there and have my meetings and then get in my car and go to work, especially if these are super early meetings like 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'm not going to work that early. because I'm going to be there all night, but I can absolutely log in either on my phone or on my computer and take care of a lot of things virtually. So my office time is spent more here at the house. My kids can tell you, because I work with two phones. And Candace, you you know this to be true. I can sit here and I can work with two phones. Be like, oh, okay, yeah, okay. Hold on, just a minute. Let me answer. Yeah, that's me all day long, uh, in the middle of meetings or whatever else, with other stuff that I've got going on. Now, so Arise work from home is the best. So I will tell you this, it provides you an opportunity to create your own LLC. You become your own mini call center, folks. That means making sure that you have up to date computer equipment. I'm going to let y'all in on a little secret. When I first started, listen closely, when I first started, I rented. That's how desperate I was. Now computers are so cheap, you don't need to do all that. And some people have, like, this ASD that you actually use, and you log in with that, and you plug that into your USB, and you're able to work from that way. But back then, honey, I didn't have a pot to piss in, except, and my student loans was for my student loans and whatever living we were going to do. So I needed to make sure that any additional money I had, I went to Rent a Center. I sure did. And I got this huge, big desktop Dell that had this huge fan, and it would, you can hear it blowing in the back, right? But what it provided me was a check every 2 weeks that I needed to take care of me and my little family. And I didn't have to ask anybody for anything. I didn't have to beg anybody for medical insurance, anything, because I took care of all of that off of what I made. Well, Miss Paulette, how did you do that? How were you able to make that kind of money? What did you do? Well, I set a goal. I did not leave the phones. What I would do is I would split my day up. So first things first is Lily had to be at the bus stop at 7:30 in the morning. So I would make sure she was at the bus stop for the little bitty bus to come and pick her up. Once that was done, Tamika and Imani would take care of themselves. They knew to get to the bus stop, catch the bus, go to school. So as soon as that was done, I would do my first 4 or 5 hours and I would take a break. Okay. Then I would start my dinner. I would start doing anything else I needed to do to make sure that the house was ready. So I cooked every day, y'all. Every day. Oh my God, I sure did. I cooked every day. Okay, so then after I cooked every day, if they had activities that they had to do or whatever, and if I wasn't scheduled to work, which I would try my best not to schedule myself. So here's something else. They don't make your schedule, you do. Okay. So based upon whatever hours come out, you have to be available to schedule yourself in 30-minute increments on most of these job opportunities. But that's cool because some of you guys are college students. Some of you all just want 15, 20 hours extra a week. By all means, these are the perfect job opportunities for you. Okay. So I wanted a minimum of 60 hours a week. Dang, that's a whole lot. It's not a whole lot when you don't have a commute, when you're sitting at the house. Right? My office was literally right next to the kitchen. I had a little corner in the living room, and I sat there and I took calls. And if it was slow, I would log out for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, take me a quick break, go sit back down. Finish taking my calls, and I gave myself a 2 to 3 hour window when the kids was coming home, when Lily was getting off the bus, to do what I needed to do. And then when everybody was in the bed, guess what I would do? Go right back on the phones. What was my daily goal? You can set your own, but my daily goal was to make $100 a day minimum. Minimum. Let me say that again. $100 a day minimum. Now, back then, that worked. Okay. So I was good with the $100 a day minimum. That worked for me. So what I was able to do was to provide $100 a day. Yes, I worked every day. Every day. So I was popping minimum with just the one job with Working Soul or with Arise. I was popping $3,000 a month easily. $100 a day. I could easily do it. And I would still have my schedule free for the kids, which again was important. And I was doing Juneteenth in Camden, Arkansas. So I had time to do that as well. Okay. And then I opened up the consignment shop and I was taking calls back then too. So if there wasn't nobody in the store, I would log in. Thank you for calling so and so and so. Sure did. I really did that. So I was constantly looking for additional ways to add to what I was doing. And then somebody told me about this website right here. And I'm going to leave you all with this one. I want to make sure I spell that right. Okay. This one was everything. This one was the business. RatRaceRebellion.com. These are legitimate sites. So RatRaceRebellion.com has been around for, I know, close to 15, 16 years, if not a little bit longer. It's been run by the same two people for years, and they actually go out and research different companies. This particular website will provide you links to all kinds of companies that are currently hiring. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up right now. If you're on your cell phone, I encourage you to do the same thing. Again, why am I doing this? Because y'all, why not? I mean, it's not costing me anything to give you all this information. Listen, so if you go to ratracerebellion.com every single day, listen to me, every single day, you will get alerts if you sign up for their, I used to work for ACD Direct too. Sure did. I didn't like ACD Direct though because it was a nonprofit. You would take calls for nonprofits. So I wasn't too keen on that. And then you have to call and ask for donation. Not a fan. But they're here. So pull up ratracerebellion.com and you'll see for yourself what I'm talking about. And get free screened work from home gigs. And they're screened, folks. RatRaceRebellion.com, work from home customer service reps, TTEC now hiring in 45 states. Sitel, if you all, anybody in Arkansas, if listening to the sound of my voice, if you know anything about Sitel or you've worked for Sitel, y'all know that they have work at home opportunities as well. Okay. And with the pandemic, I guarantee you they're sending more and more people home to work from home. Okay. So work from home side gigs, and they do it every single day. They'll even tell you, y'all, Amazon has work from home jobs. Listen, that is all. That's all I got. You can review websites and apps, but y'all, that's extra $10, $5. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want some coins that's gonna pay some bills if you need to. Hello? I'm just keeping it real with you, or else there's no reason to do it. Unless, of course, you're just looking to just, sit there and be cute. No, I wasn't. Public storage is hiring inbound phone sales agent for $20 to $30 an hour. Y'all, these are not rinky-dink, janky work from home opportunities. These are the legitimate, real things. So you see that at the bottom of my screen. Go ahead and write that down. Share this as many times as you can with other people, because right now, again, people, it's a lot going on. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's better for you to be in the know. Hey, Kimberly, I'm so glad that you're joining. I'm so glad. So we're going to do a recap if you're just now joining as well, so you guys are aware of what I'm talking about. I do think that it's important to share as much information that we can with people. And I think it's only right, because for me to continue to hold on to this information for all these years, I hear people say, I ain't making enough money, Lord, I can't find a job. Listen, look, I'm giving it to you straight, no chaser right now, for real. So go ahead and like, comment, share, let people know that you're here and that you are willing to let other people know what this is about, because it's free information, y'all. And here's the truth: why not listen to somebody that's already done it? And that would be me, for real. I've done it, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I've done well. Child, I done paid bills. I'm not talking about no small ones either. I'm talking about bills. Like, it was like the best. It was the best thing. Why the sad face? Who did the sad face? Why the sad face? No sad face. This is good information, girl. For real. It really is. So once again, it's your girl Paulette. I am providing information about working from home. It is absolutely free. You can share with people as much as you want. you can pass this on. I am actually going to make this available as a podcast on my podcast as well, and just share this information because again, anybody that knows me, y'all know. Y'all know that I actually literally did work from home. If you know me, you know my kids, you know that's what I did. There's so many different ways. And I keep up with it. So Lily, my baby girl actually works from home now. She's on the phones right now. Okay. And I'm trying to be nice. I'm not gonna tell y'all who she worked for, but just know that she's 17, she's a high school senior, and she is making the exact same as some people that are working in some of the warehouses in the distribution centers right now, just taking calls from the house. Okay. And I had to tell her, slow down, because we do have a business on the side. We have a store we just opened, and I need her to be available to make more money. But guess what I'm teaching her? I'm teaching her multiple streams of income. How about that? Okay. All right. So Rat Race Rebellion is the piece de resistance with this one. So here's a couple things that I want to leave you with. Okay, first things first, let's go back up to the top. I want to tell you all about the top folks when it comes to getting a work from home opportunity, and that is workingsoul.com or Working Solutions. I swear by them. Okay, loved them. It was a 1099 or an independent contractor, and your training was paid, which I really, really needed at the time when I started, because again, Lily was in therapy. And I needed to be available to speak directly with her doctors and her physical therapist and her occupational therapist at the time when they needed me. So I needed to be able to have something that was going to provide me the flexibility I needed, which is what caused me to fall into the work from home opportunities. And here's the other one, Arise. So I'm gonna show y'all this one. Arise Work from Home is another one. Those two are the monsters. Those are the big dogs. And the reason why I say that is because you got tons of opportunity that come from them. But then I'm gonna tell you something else. Next Rep ain't no punk either. I'm gonna tell you that. All right. The one thing that you have to be careful with Next Rep is you might end up doing a project where it pays you well and you'll make commission, but you got the upsell. And if that's not your thing, then don't sweat it. So like there was one company where I was doing with Next Rep, one of the first projects I did for Next Rep was credit repair. And my whole job at the time was to refer them to a credit repair specialist. And the credit repair specialist was Lexington Law. That was all I had to do, is refer them. So living in the state of Georgia, it is a misdemeanor if you are practicing credit repair. So I wasn't doing that. I was referring them. And as long as I was referring them, I was good. And I made some cute money with that. Okay. All you needed was a headset. So let's talk about equipment. So most times when you are working for these companies or working as an independent contractor with these companies and you're partnering with them, you will need up-to-date equipment. I will encourage you, if you are considering this seriously, to only work with a Windows 10 or nothing less than a Windows 8, because most times their IT support system won't support 7 or 8 or 8 plus. Okay, so be very, very, very aware of that. If they tell you to be hardwired, be hardwired. An Ethernet cord, y'all, a 40-foot Ethernet cord costs about $20, and you can have it run where you need to until you're finished working, or have a specific space in your house where your office is completely set up and it's hands off to everybody else. Everybody knew. And I'm still like that today. Don't touch mother's stuff, because that's how she make her money online. Don't touch her stuff, because that's the paycheck that's paying the bills and buying the clothes and stuff like that at the time when I was doing it full time. So don't touch her stuff. So have your rules. Make sure you have a printer. Make sure that you have a shredder. Make sure that when you're scanning stuff or whatever, that you're tossing everything, you're keeping records of everything for at least 3 to 5 years. That was a rule that I gave myself, because if anything ever came down the pipe, like, oh, well, we don't have these records, all you got to do is go back and look for it. Oh, it's in this file. But now it's on my phone. I keep everything in Dropbox now. Okay. So that's another thing that I did. I kept everything. Matter of fact, I still have the same Dropbox account because of that. And I have all those documents, right? So if it ever comes up, ever, I have it. Okay. And so again, my rule was make $100 a day. That was my rule, hands down. Make sure your equipment is up to date. Make sure that if they tell you that you need a 3.5 millimeter headset with a microphone, that's what you get. If they tell you that you need a USB headset, that's what you get. Some of the best headsets I know right now are at Office Depot. And I think I paid, the one that Lily has was $85. So any investment that you make right now, any investment that you put into your business, trust me, your first check, oh, you go make that back. You won't miss it. You'll make that back and then some. So don't even worry about, oh, I'm spending this much money. Lord, if you go through the training, if you certify, and if you go ahead and do the work, you're gonna make that money back. Trust me. You won't miss it. You be like, oh, what was I worried about? Okay? Don't even worry about it. Now, some companies, I know for sure there's a tax company that you can be a part of their project where you're a tax professional. They'll provide you with all the training, and this is through Arise now, mind you. So that's coming up too, where you're able to do you'll have to wear their company shirt, and they'll give you a green backdrop to stick to the back of your chair and all of that, and even give you the webcam they want you to use. That's a really cool program, and it pays about $17 an hour, depending on what company that you go through. So that's coming up. So be on the lookout for that. So I really can't think of anything else, but y'all check out this one. This is going to give you the big beast right here. RatRaceRebellion.com. If you are looking for any work from home opportunities that are legitimate, listen to me. If you're looking for work from home opportunities that are legitimate, Rat Race Rebellion, and I am not an affiliate. I'm not getting paid. I am telling you because I have used them personally myself. And when I tell you, I worked my buns off, and I had goals, and I would hit those goals. And sometimes there were times I wouldn't go to bed till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and had to be right back up. But that's nothing if I'm making $100 a day, and in between I took a 3-hour break to cook for my kids or wash their clothes or go to their parent meetings or go and see Lily's therapist at the time. I had time to do that, right? And I was still able to make $100 a day, minimum, okay? So now there are other work from home opportunities, but these are the ones that are going to get you paid and keep you paid. Stay away from the scams. So some of the scams that you should definitely stay away from is anything that's asking you for your credit card up front, unless of course it is Arise, because Arise is providing you an opportunity to be a business owner. So that's something totally different. I'm not talking about MLMs like paparazzi or Mary Kay or anything like that. And guys, there's nothing wrong with that, because like I tell you, I sold Mary Kay too and did well. Okay, did really well. But I needed to focus on my kids, and that was the most important thing. And I needed flexibility, and I needed that guaranteed income that wasn't based on whether or not you bought my daggone lipstick or not. And that provided it. Okay. So if you have any questions, if you know me personally, you can absolutely go over to the Sunday brunch and you can inbox me for more questions. I'm happy to provide it. And also, if you know me personally on my first personal Facebook page, inbox me with further questions. But guys, if you want me to come back and I can talk a little bit further about other tips and things that you might need for working from home, by all means, I'm happy to do it, because y'all, it's hard out here for a pimp, okay? And you don't need no stress in your life right now. Be about your peace and your purse, okay, in these times. And in order for you to be at peace, sometimes you got to make sure your purse is straight. You feel me? And so with that, I hope that you have found this information to be helpful this evening. Again, go ahead and share this out as much as you can. This was a freebie. This was absolutely free. I'm excited to have done it. Please know that the information that I provided you was information I did personally. And y'all, I could have kept going. I could talk for another 3-4 hours, and I could give you more work from home opportunities. But if you want to make enough money to pay your bills, put away for savings, pay for your self-employed health insurance, the companies that I provided to you is what I would recommend because they are legit. I did them for years. And if all hell broke loose right now, I would know what to do. Okay. All right. So KCCR Radio, the Brownstone Center. Here's what's happening. By my birthday, the apps will be ready to rock. You'll be able to listen to KCCR Radio, the Brownstone Center, home of Cullen's Corner, the Sunday Brunch, the Day Shift, Ear Hustling Radio, the Joe Show, and KJ in the Hall, as well as Happy Hour will be returning. Also, the Sunday Brunch is available at Facebook at the Sunday Brunch. You can follow me on Instagram at your girl Paulette, YAGURL Paulette. You can check out all of the cool recipes that I have available. So what does that mean? This is what will be for sale by Thanksgiving is my very first cookbook. And it's all of the recipes that you have been looking at on the Sunday Brunch. Don't forget you can listen to the Sunday Brunch on KCCR Radio at 11:30 a.m. And I'm going to go back to pre-recording or recording the show because we go live and you guys will be able to listen to the actual recorded version once it's done on the Sunday Brunch. It's jazz and gospel. And on the show, you're welcome, Sister TG. Oh, I am so glad. Once again, if you want to share this with other people, by all means, go ahead and share this out as much as you can. And again, nobody's paying me to do this. I'm giving you straight, no chaser, straight from the hip. I don't have a script. I'm not here to sell you anything. I don't want your email address. Hello. I don't want none of that. I want to provide you with information because guess what's coming down the pipe? More of what we have experienced over the past couple of months. Okay. I need us to be ready. Okay. I need us to be ready. All of us. So how dare I hold on to this valuable information and I can provide it to all of you guys at no cost. And you don't have to do the research because I did it for 17, 18 years. Okay. So remember that. Check me out once again. Go ahead and like the Sunday Brunch. We are extending our contest for an additional week. Go ahead and like and share the Sunday Brunch for your chance to win. Guess what? I have no idea who that is. And so we're going to block that person because that's just not who we are. So what I'm going to do is provide you guys an opportunity to win a couple of baskets of handmade soap from yourbutterbar.com. Yourbutterbar.com. Say that 5 times fast. See how you do. Okay. All right. So we're done here. I am so happy that you could join us. So glad. So glad. And if you have any questions, go ahead and inbox me directly. I'll be happy to answer them. You all enjoy the rest of your evening. I've got some additional work to do for my day job. Holla at your girl on the other side. But for now, remember one thing that we do at the Sunday Brunch. My entire job is to help you rise and shine for your life. Have a good night. Peace.